Okay, so now I'm going to start on the next little bit of colouring in. Basically just filling. Another thing you could do with some of these larger gaps, excuse me. Another thing that you could do with some of the larger gaps is some circles or add some smaller. Hello? Okay, let's try that again. Another thing you can do now with some of those gaps is you can actually add more petals in those little spaces, or you can add circles or some other type of pattern if you really want to, and then fill around that. And then it might look a little bit busier, but then it won't look as contrasting as this. It won't be big chunks of black, So if that's what you prefer, then do that. See, I'll just add a little one in there. It adds a bit of character, I have to say, when you add the extra ones. And then you do get that more defined outline from the original petals that you have drawn. Another thing that you could do is you can, I'll just show you as an example with this one. You could just basically echo that line there. And then once you color that in, you basically still see the outline of that original petal that you had earlier. Because now that we've colored most of them in black, you don't really see that outline anymore. But if you echo it or just outline it to create like a thicker sort of edge, then you can actually see it like so, if you know what I mean. So that's another option too. So many possibilities, I'm going to color it in just to keep it consistent. Later on as well, if you really want to, you could just go over it with a white marker or a white, like a white pen or a paint marker, if that's what you've got, or a gel pen. Gel pens usually work really well. What I've learned over the last couple of weeks or months is a white marker, a white gel pen, or a white paint marker is an essential part of a doodler's toolkit, whether you like it or not. I never used white. I never did. Only recently have I began actually experimenting with white. So, yeah. Okay, we've nearly gotten there now. Okay. Let's keep going. I've usually got music blaring in the background, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get in trouble, copyright and all. So I don't have anything playing in the background today. Usually when I do my live streams on TikTok, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of people in the chat commenting, music playing. Yeah, there's a lot of chatter. It's a really, really fun vibe. It's a bit quiet here though. Nearly finished filling the backgrounds. I don't usually use a chisel tip, but you can sort of get a wider coverage if you hold it in a certain way, which is speeds up the process a little bit if you're coloring big spaces. Okay. Oh, it looks different from this angle. I don't mind it. Fill in the gaps. Again, if you've got too many gaps, you could just squish more petals in. It does look good, but then you have to know when to stop. There's a line. There's a creative line. But if you don't push your boundaries, you won't ever know what works and what doesn't. So just go for it. And if all else fails, just write the word draft at the top of your drawing. If it makes you feel any better. That's what I do sometimes. I write the word draft at the top just to remember. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be that much of a perfectionist when, your intention is to do something that brings you joy and happiness, calm and relief. It's not supposed to bring you any stress, anger, disappointment, feelings of failure. You don't want any of that. Okay, so we've got a little bit left. Let's get into these little nooks here. Okay, there you go. Which angle do you prefer it on? I wonder if we were to go all the way to the edge, how it would look. Another thing people do with this kind of petal on the in the insides of larger petals, is they actually draw little strokes coming from the very tippity tip, tiniest little nook at the bottom of that upside down raindrop. And it just adds a little bit of character. If that's what you'd like to do, you can add that as well. A lot of the time, this is where people place the color, just on this little inside part, and they do these little strokes of color, and it just looks like a cute little burst of color, which is a bit lovely. I'm going to keep this one black and white just for demonstrational purposes, but you could definitely, if you're a color person, definitely try it with a bit of color. You could even color the whole thing and then add these strokes on top. Or you can color the whole thing and then you can add these strokes not in black, but in a different color altogether. Every which way will give you a different effect, and it would look striking in different ways. For me, I love black and white. Just personally, it's just my thing. It's my go-to. It's what just visually makes me enjoy like looking at it. I like it black and white. And that's what we got. And that took about 20 minutes. I did kind of rush through. I didn't get too distracted. And yeah, if you like it, give it a go. And I hope you enjoyed it.